Hi everyone, in this video I'm gonna share with you my Thịt Kho Trứng recipe, also known as Thịt Kho Tàu. This is a classic must-eat dish during Lunar New Year. Originally in my country, people usually cook a super big pot of this during New Year to enjoy for at least the first 3 days of New Year. Thịt Kho Tàu is an excellent comfort food when paired with a big bowl of jasmine rice and a side of pickled bean sprouts. So, with the New Year fast approaching, let's follow me into the kitchen and see how I make this dish. Traditionally in Vietnam, people would use pork belly or a cut of pork meat with the skin and fat still attached. But with me being a healthy freak, I don't like too much fat in my food, so I would substitute with pork loin, country-style boneless ribs, or pork tenderloins. But to show you guys how it's originally done, I'm going to do half and half pork belly and the country-style pork loins. With the pork belly, I would cut it into squares or cubes like this, depending on how big you want it, but I would recommend not to cut it too small since you have to braise it for at least 2 hours. Cut it the skin side up so everything's still attached and it will look prettier that way. Same thing with the pork loins, cut it into the same size as the pork belly so it's all symmetry in the pot, and skim up any excess fat. To marinate the meat, we would need 1 head of garlic, which is about 8 to 10 cloves, 5 to 6 shallots. We would finely mince it up either by hand or by machine, whichever is easiest for you. I am going to scoop about 1 tablespoon of that out to leave aside so we can use it to fragrance the oil later. And then the rest, just dump it into the meat to marinate it. And then add 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of freshly ground peppers. Season with 1 tablespoon of chicken powder, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and 2 tablespoons of fish sauce. And 1 teaspoon of sesame oil. Now mix it up really good. You can even use your hand to massage everything into the meat. Put a pot on the stove on medium-high heat, add some olive oil and then wait for about a minute, and then add in the tablespoon of minced garlic and shallots that we left aside earlier. When it turned a crispy golden color, throw in the marinated pork. We're gonna toss it around and cook the meat thoroughly so that it's infused all of the flavors and everything packed into the meat. Once all the meat is cooked thoroughly, deglaze the pot with 1 little can of chicken stock, any kind of chicken stock, just to lift all that flavors up from the bottom of the pot. Stir the meat around for a little bit just to even everything out and then bring the pot to a boil. And then you're going to need some coconut juice. You can use pretty much any kind of coconut juice. Traditionally, we would use fresh young coconut, but for efficiency, we're going to use these. Remember to look on the back of the container to see how much sugar is in it. Pick the ones with the least amount of sugar, otherwise you'll have to adjust the amount of sugar marinated into the meat. I'm using 2 types of coconut juice here just to show you the different kinds that we can use for this dish, but my mom though, she just used the coconut soda in the green cans here. And then add 1 whole onion into the pot to add more depth and more natural sweetness to the dish. Let the pot simmer on to medium-low heat. Remember to skim up all of the impurities that rise up to the top of the pot.
cả thế giới như thay áo mới, mọi người cùng vui xuân khắp
I'm going to marinate the whole pot by adding 2 tablespoons of chicken powder and 2 tablespoons of fish sauce. Then cover the lid up halfway like so and let it simmer on to medium-low heat, or just low heat is okay too, for about 2 hours. In the meantime, boil your eggs. Chicken eggs usually takes about 12 minutes to cook thoroughly. In Vietnam, we originally used duck eggs for this dish, hence the name Thịt Kho Hộc Vịt. But there's no duck eggs here, so we use chicken eggs. And in my household, we don't eat too much eggs, so I just boil just enough here and then substitute in some quail's eggs. The amount of eggs you want to put in this dish is all up to you, because I remember my mom, she used to put 2 dozen of eggs in the pot, and then the next day she would add in another dozen, so it's all up to you. Okay, after 2 hours of simmering, take off the lid and take out the onion, skim off all the impurities that's left on top of the pot, and then put in all your eggs. Oh yeah, remember how I was poking the eggs with a toothpick earlier? That just helped the coconut juice penetrate the eggs better, but that's just optional. After you put all the eggs in the pot, just let the pot simmer on to medium heat for another half hour. After you take the lid off of the pot, you can slowly see the color of the meat turn to a darker brown, and that's just perfect. You don't need to put any extra additional coloring in it. It just braises itself into a golden brown. And there you go. You can now enjoy a perfect bowl of braised pork and eggs. This is a perfect comfort food served with a bowl of rice. The meat is just right, really tender and really juicy. Traditionally on Lunar New Year, we usually eat this with a side of special pickled bean sprouts to enhance and balance the flavors. I also have a tutorial coming up on how to make this special pickled bean sprouts, so you guys can try to make this together with the braised pork and eggs, because it goes so well together. Remember to check it out, guys. Well, this is it, guys. I hope you like it and try this recipe out. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I also have a Facebook page and Instagram that you guys can follow. It's called Food Journey TV. Otherwise, check out my other video, guys. Thank you for watching and see you next time.